Hey everyone, I'm Rather Incoherent, back with more Dream Eaters. Today will be our penultimate episode going into Point of No Return, the second to last scenario for Webside. Before we get into all this, let's talk about the deck upgrade since the last time you saw these characters. On Tommy's side of things, we just got stand together upgrades and nothing else. You might think that as the main fighter I should probably upgrade some stuff that fights. And that's a fair point, and it's probably true. But I don't actually know what I want to do with this experience. I could stick to the plan, turn an emergency cache into whatever vigilant and sit on one. That would be reasonable. I could get a flamethrower. I could instead go with my original deck plan, which was stupid and I've already deleted it because it didn't matter. Or I could get Stand Together, which I know will be very good and very valuable. And it synergizes directly with Tommy's plan of get his deck small and cycle beat cops and guard dogs. Probably should have gotten a second charisma, but honestly, I think if you have two allies out, you're doing enough as Tommy. And really, I'm sitting on 2 experience so I can make the most optimal final deck upgrade, and I want these stand-togethers the most, which is why those are the things I've chosen as the upgrade to lock in. Coming over to Stella, again, I'm sitting on 1 experience. I have gotten my second Quick Learner, which is huge. I picked up 2 copies of Shark Vision. And as for the rest of it, I mean, there's a ton of different efficient things I could do. I could definitely cut 1 card somewhere for an Unrelenting and improve the deck, but again, I'm going to let myself get the rest of my experience before I lock in this final upgrade. The deck is more than sufficient in its current state. Probably going to be going for Old Keyrings 3, and that's the big reason I haven't gotten the Unrelenting. If I end up in a situation where I have to choose between Old Keyring 3 and an Unrelenting, I want the Old Keyring, so I'm going to leave that experience open right now just in case. This is not a thing I end up talking about very often, because in most campaigns I can just confidently have the experience that I need. But in specifically Dream Eaters, you have to make concessions in your deck. You can't finish your plans. You just, unless you're like Ashcan Pete. But even now with the current card pool, Ashcan Pete can make a 45 experience deck. So in Dream Eaters specifically, you have to really think about what your final deck is going to look like and worry about locking yourself out of better options by spending experience on what would make you better now, but worse next scenario. Coming into Ghoul Gang, we have a 5 Doom agenda. We have, we'll be instructed to advance eventually when we find Richard Upton. And after an enemy with 1 or more clues is defeated, take control of their clues. As I recall, Richard Upton is in the plane of ghouls, but I think we have to do something somewhere else for him to like us. Can't quite recall what it is. And once we go to the City of Gogs, we immediately resolve its other side as opposed to using the Veiled keyword. And up at the Tower of Koth, if we do this, it will get us another location with victory, and also I think the good ending where you aren't trapped in the Dreamlands forever, that's kind of nice. But I'm not really concerned about the good ending, so I might just be accepting the bad ending. So, let's get into it. For Tommy's opening hand, we're gonna see... What am I mulliganing for on Tommy? A gun, probably. That wouldn't be a bad start. Not internal injury, though. Branding a thug is like a gun, it kills people. And it's good to see an ally, at least. Over here in Stella, I think I actually did shuffle the deck, because there should be 3 copies of neither Rain nor Snow, right? Yeah, that's very shuffled. Okay, that's just a confusing initial set of cards. I'm going to hold 1 Dark Horse and toss the rest. Try again. Let's do this correctly. I say as I draw to the wrong hand. It's not a great opening hand. Not really any draw. Dark Horse on its own isn't good enough. My first turn on Stella is looking like it might just be like Dark Horse draw. That's another part of why I wanted to Stand Together, is Stella doesn't have like super high consistency. She's not a Seeker. Over here, I'm definitely looking at like Brand Guard Dog and then a dead third action. I could play Emergency Cache, but I have nothing to spend it on, so I'll draw first action. That's not Stand Together. I'm gonna draw again. And then I'm going to play the Guard Dog as my last action. This way, if I get an enemy, I can start killing the enemy by playing things in front of them and killing my Guard Dog to get the money back. Seems generally helpful. And we have to put in our initial traumas. I haven't done that, apparently. Over here on Stella, we should put our mulligan back into the deck, and we should take a draw action because we really don't have anything going for us. Resourceful is not really what we need right now. What's our Shroud? It's 3? I mean, I can look when I found this, if nothing else. I'll probably just pass. Well, I'm only up 1, I might not. Second action, I'm going to play Dark Horse. Not going to be stopping myself from getting money just yet, because I need more to play other assets. And then I'll investigate. Drop this down here because I'm Stella. At 2-1, thanks to Quick Learners. Just pass and get a clue, that's fine. My mouse still has not been replaced. Anyway, that'll be it for turn 1. Upkeep. Live and Learn's fine. It's actually really good in Sella. Vicious Blow is not really solving the problem I have. 1 of 5 Doom and Evil cards. Dude, when I said I was gonna let people hit the guard dog, I didn't mean this guy. That's a bit much. I can guarantee evade him though, because Stella turns that to difficulty 0, which is nice. Rotting Remains. Okay, so I just debated whether or not to use neither Rain nor Snow. It's a thing I keep going back and forth on. Should I use it on the first one or not? And I still think it's correct to not use it the first time, but especially in this case since I have Lucky in hand. Come on, Mouse, I believe in you. That one might have been me though. 3 to 3. Skull is -0. I just pass. Cool. Oh, and I don't think I actually explained this before. Quick Learner is only during your turn and has absolutely no effect during the Mythos phase. Now, it is definitely Stella's job to try and deal with that Gug. This location has 1 clue left. What I could do is investigate it. It'll be difficulty 5, so even with Live and Learn, I'd still fail. There's no point. So I just want to do something with my first action, engage, evade. That first action's going to be draw then I engage, then I evade. This isn't massive, right? Yeah, somehow Gugs aren't massive. I actually passed that without turning it to 0, funnily enough, but now he is super exhausted. And that'll be it for Stella. Over here, we still haven't solved our problems. I'm definitely drawing at least 1 card. Going to play Brandicathuga to avoid overdrawing. I don't think we're killing this Gug. He's not a hunter. We're just going to let him have this location. I've got a lot of skills for fighting. I play Emergency Cash to avoid overdrawing, though. And that'll be it for us. Upkeep phase, Beat Cop's nice. Second Dark Horse, not so much. 2 of 5 Doom and Evil cards. Foot bad. Yeah, he's already exhausted. There's only 1. Foot bad. And we have a Hunting Ghast. Prey, most damage. He entered a location with a Gug enemy, so he readies the Gug. And that's going to engage since it has no prey with the person who can actually dodge it. Cool. Thanks for that. Foot bad. How does that interact, actually? We get -2 to the skill, not +2 to the difficulty. That's very important. I'm gonna go first on Tommy. I play Beat Cop for 5, or for 4 rather. I tap the Beat Cop to kill this gas. And my third action matters a lot less. I'm going to get this, draw a card. Over here, the Gug has to be dodged. It's 4 to 4 on the first one. And it's actually 2 to 4 on the first one instead, because of that foot bad. We're not gonna be able to do this until our last action, so I'm just going to go ahead and fail these real quick. -4. Do any of these really mess me up? Yes, the Cultist gets me an encounter card. Awesome. Oh, the Gug can hit me on the squid. Oh, I feel a lot less good about this plan. Anyway, my ability activates and I get the action back. If you fail by 2 or more, it can be mitigated by using Lucky. It's currently difficulty 2, so we're fine. I'm just going to evade 4 to 2. It's fine. It's 4 to 4, not 4 to 2. It was 4 to 6 previously. At 4 to 4, I would have to use a Lucky to not get hit by the Gug. That's fine. I don't care. Skull, -0. That's actually just a success again. I can investigate my location at 2 to 1 now. If I commit something like a resourceful, for instance, I could play Winging It. I'm actually going to lose the resource here. I'm having too many resources at this point. And then I can use resourceful on it to be at... Oh wait, Winging It reduces the difficulty all the way down to 0. Well, resourceful doesn't need to be committed then. I'm just going to take the test and pass. Yep. I get the clue. Now, the squid does actually say connecting location, so this Gug isn't just solved or anything like that. He's still here. Now, I don't think you spend this clue. I recall this summoning an enemy. Now, I don't know if it's a Gug. Probably not, because the city of the Gugs is over here. It probably is a Ghoul, but no, there's the plane of the Ghouls. I think that would mean that this summons a Ghast. I know it summons an enemy. So I'm not gonna flip that, because if it's a Ghast and it readies the Gug again, we're gonna have a serious problem. What am I doing with my last action? Am I just leaving? I'm actually going to check and confirm my meta knowledge. If I'm remembering this right, Vaults of Zen doesn't have anything on its back I care about. If I'm remembering correctly, Plane of the Ghouls has Picton. And when you talk to him, he's like, go to the City of the Gugs. And once you do City of the Gugs, you're able to just come back and get Picton. Or maybe you need a lot of clues. It's something like that. I'm pretty sure Vaults of Zen doesn't matter at all. Yes, my meta knowledge is correct. I'm not misremembering the scenario. Ghastly Tunnels summons a ghast, unsurprisingly. And it just has a clue on it that you can get. It's not actually helpful. In Plane of the Ghouls, I was right. It does send you somewhere else, but it's because you need more clues. Anyway, I'm not going to walk into the City of the Gugs in my last action because I know better. I don't need to check that one. I know exactly what City of the Gugs does. Just going to draw a card, even though it's overdrawn, right? This Dark Horse doesn't matter. I mean, my hand does stuff, just not yet. Upkeep phase. Dark Horse can go. Over here, Safeguard is actually quite nice. 3 of 5 Doom. It's not the upgraded Safeguard, though, so it's not great. We get a Ghoul, that's fine. Ghouls aren't forced to spawn anywhere, are they? Yeah, oh yeah, this guy's half-readied. Plane of the Ghouls just prevents Gugs from entering, so it's fine. Frozen in Fear is quite annoying, but I can live with it. So on Tommy, I'm probably going to kill this Ghoul minion, play Cherished Keepsake, and then play Safeguard. That seems super reasonable, so let's do that. I attack with Brand of Cthugga at 4, 5 to 6 to 2, up 4. It's time to go on the roller coaster. We're good. He's dead. I spend 2 charges to make that happen. And then as my last 2 actions with all my money, I play Safeguard and a Cherished Keepsake. On it, Stella, oh god. Wait a second. Yeah, I double action to move, but I'm going to go down instead of up, and I'm going to have Tommy Safeguard. Because if I go left, we get the Gug. Tommy needs to go first on that turn. Then as my second action, I'm probably going to investigate this location, expecting to fail 2 to 3, or 2 to 4 rather. That sounds pretty solid. When I fail, I'll get my action back. I can live and learn to be 4 to 4. That's actually not very likely to work, but it is likely to trigger look what I found on one of the checks. On the second check, rather. Especially with Lucky in hand. So yes, I'm going to investigate third action. At 2 to 4. It's probably not going to work. This is actually second action, because Frozen in Fear was 1 action. If you fail by 2 or more, which I do, I ready an enemy at your location or connecting location. That enemy moves to your location, engages you, and makes an immediate attack. Now, it does ready the Gug, absolutely. But the Gug is not allowed to enter the Plane of the Ghouls. So the rest of that's going to fizzle, thankfully. Then I'm going to live and learn, and be at 4 to 4 instead, and try again. And this will activate and give me this action back. I will actually spend a resource on Lucky. And then play Look What I Found at 0 because of Onuron to get 2 clues. And then as my last action, I'm just going to draw a card. And pass out. I'm going to test at 3 to 3. I cannot play cards, so it's just... Wait, this is at the end of your turn. So this is actually going to be affected. It's a difficulty 1 test then. Cool. Up 2. Get out of here. I did not realize that that was the right timing window for Frozen in Fear to get beat by Quick Learner. Shame I'm asleep, though. Rookie mistake. Cop dies. Unfortunate, but it happens. And over here, Rabbit's Foot is great. 4 of 5 Doom and Evil cards. Frozen in Fear on the other character now, which is actually really frustrating. Dissonant Voices is also super frustrating on Stella, because Stella is pretty reliant on playing cards to do anything. Like, what am I supposed to do? I guess the answer is Stella is supposed to evade the Gug that spawns. Alright, sure. Yeah, I guess that's our plan. I go first on Tommy. I slap her to wake her up. Whoops. I go first on Tommy. I slap her to wake her up. And then I'm going to... I can't even Safeguard with her, right? Because Frozen in Fear... Oh wait, I'm not performing a move action. Frozen in Fear doesn't affect Safeguard. This specific lingo, where it says action types, and it's actually referring to only if you spent an action to do it, as opposed to when you do the thing, breaks my brain. But yeah, I think the way this is written, it does not affect Safeguard or Shortcut. Anything where you didn't spend an action doesn't trigger Frozen in Fear. Which is literally the opposite of how I've read it forever. I have been telling people that Shortcut tossed an action when you have Frozen in Fear for so long. But if you play Shortcut, you did not perform a move action. You haven't flipped a token. You have not spent an action. I'm gonna look up Frozen in Fear, because I just found out that my whole world is a lie. I'm livid. To be completely clear, does Frozen in Fear make the move granted from Shortcut cost an action or not? Yes, the move on Shortcut 2 would cost an action. You know why that's a problem? Because on Shortcut 2, move is bolded, but on shortcut 1, it isn't. So, my understanding based on the much less clear prior paragraph is that if you move and it was an action or it was a bolded action designator, regardless of whether or not it cost you an action, the bolded action designator would also be taxed. But if you did not spend a move action or use like a pathfinder or a shortcut to, if you move through something without a bold action designator, then it doesn't count. If I'm wrong in the comments, tell me, but I'm pretty sure that's correct and I can safeguard. And I'm mad about it, for the record. So I was going back and forth on whether or not I had to walk in. I think I haven't drawn yet. I'm pretty sure this is a new extra ammo. Maybe? I don't know. I'm drawing twice. My brain melted. Hey, second safeguard. I guess it's frozen in fear. This doesn't matter as long as someone else always does the moving, which is good because I can't break out of it. I'm going to move. Tommy is going to safeguard with me. We're going to enter here and resolve it immediately. Spawn the set-aside Gug Sentinel at this location with player clues on it. Test 3 foot. If you succeed, Gug Sentinel enters play exhausted and unengaged. Otherwise, it enters play engaged with you. So this is here. That would have been after my first action, so it's going to be a test of 4 to 3. I have Lucky. I have neither Rain nor Snow. That isn't true. I can't play Lucky, and I'm not willing to play Rain nor Snow. I'm just testing 4 to 3, up 1. Stop that! Wasn't really planning on passing that. He's a 5/6/3 enemy. After he readies, deal 1 hard to everyone at its location? Not a fan. We'll work on killing him next turn. But in the meantime, though, after you enter City of Gugs, we've already done that. He should have 2 clues on him. That's important. Can't forget that. I have 2 actions left. The Shroud here is only 2. On this one, I'll be at 2 to 2. It's not great. Now, I can't help but notice that if I fail by 2, which is what getting down to 0 would do here, I can't play Lucky. And that would ready the Gug. Which is... It could also pull this Gug, which is also not good. Like, it's not a good situation I find myself in. Stella's very, very scared of this -3. I honestly might just draw 2 cards, because I'm so scared of failing on a squid, rather. I can go up and then test 3 to 3 here. And I can use neither Rain nor Snow to pass it to get the secret area. Does this Gug have Retaliate? I'm pretty sure it does. No, it doesn't. This is actually like a relatively not that scary Gug. Well, I guess if I go up and try to do that, I have the same problem, right? I can still very easily fail by 3. It affects adjacent locations too, because God forbid you actually just evade a Gug and walk away. If you thought foot mattered, you were an idiot. How dare you try to evade enemies? Oh, man. I'm drawing 2 cards. I don't know what else to do. If I can't play around it, I just have to do this. This will go away at the end of the turn. Not you. It's interesting. If you drag it into an ongoing when it shoots up, but if you click the button, it gets it right. Anyway, upkeep. Shadowlight's wonderful. Tetsuo's fine. We're going to have to discard a card over here. It's probably going to be... this is... I actually really don't want to discard any of these, but I'm going to have to discard something. I don't want to discard second safeguard because I'm very confident that I will get the action back from second safeguard as I go further in. I think I will need this extra ammo later on. I can't discard Tetsuo. So it's got to be like a Daring, right? Daring is scary as hell anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and toss it. 5 Doom with the agenda advances. Shuffle the discard pile into the deck, place 1 damage on the reference card. Oh, that's right, this scenario goes on forever. This is just resetting. Alright, the evil cards then. Rotting Remains. I'm not actually worried about that at all, on account of the fact that I have a cherished keepsake in place. It'll make me money that I feel like I desperately need when I fail. So I'm not committing anything. 3 to 3. Doesn't even hit me hard enough to kill the teddy bear. Oh, wait a second, the teddy bear's dead. Because this Gug readies. And when he readies, everyone takes a horror. So I do get 2 resources, and I do not shuffle the teddy bear back in. And over here, I take a horror. And then on Stella, my evil card is... Do I believe it can be killed this turn? Well, on account of the fact that I literally cannot deal enough damage to it with the weapons in play, no, I don't. Head bad. That's not true, I can kill it, it just takes like both vicious blows. So I can attack at 5 with Overpower, Vicious Blow, Vicious Blow. That puts me at 9. which beats the bag, and there's nothing else to think about. I don't need daring, nothing else can be committed, so you do it. Cool. I don't really want to kill my guard dog, though. I appreciate the offer. I'll draw a card. I will spend 2 charges, and I will deal 4 damage to this guy. Hey, Thompson, I was just talking about you. I'm going to attack it again with Brandigathaga. I'm going to commit Daring and Overpower, because I can't get through this 5 very easily. If it retaliates, what do I do? Whinge about how much damage I've taken? I have to get the plus here. I need this +3, otherwise I'm only attacking at +2, which is nowhere near good enough. I could attack with just the Overpower at +2, and if that fails, go for the Daring at +3. I'm going to hold the Daring and attack at +2. Oh no. What's this do if I fail? Surge? -1. I spend 2 charges, and he's dead. Also, you are a victory enemy. Don't you dare get shuffled back in, and I draw a card. I gain a resource, because I have to be able to play this Thompson next turn. Over here on Stella, my turn starts, I draw 3 cards. To the wrong hand, like you do. I'm called by the mist, unfortunately. Second action, or first action rather, I play Old Keyring. I can use Old Keyring and Shed a Light here, but it's actually not a very efficient Shed a Light. And then I play Rabbit's Foot. I think that's just the thing to do. Get cards out of my hand so I don't overdraw more valuable things. Wonder if I should have given it over here. No, he was probably fighting stuff. I think I knew that at the time, which is why I didn't. I'm a card overdrawn. Resourceful is Shed a Light, so it's not really discardable. If my whole hand is value, then I don't need Take Heart. Also, at this point, I think I am going to stop gaining resources. No, it's fine. I'm going to stop gaining resources when I get to 6. Because that's the amount I need to play a Mariner's Compass and then fully use a Mariner's Compass. Over here, I forgot to test for this. Give me the squid, let's see it. -1, that's a fail. Beat Cop is back, that's good. 1 of 4 Doom and Evil cards. Foot bad. Gassed is going to do nothing. Because it's only its location. I read that like 3 times, making sure that it didn't say adjacent locations. So if I were to engage that guy, it would take my whole turn to engage attack, and then I can't kill it. A better choice then is to play 45 Thompson and shoot over at 6-2, which is my whole turn. And he's dead. Frozen Fear gets tested. I don't really care about passing because I'm moving with Safeguard. I'm going to double action to kill Called by the Mist. I was in the process of explaining my grand plan for investigating, failing, live and learning, and getting an action back, and still passing. But, live and learn appears to have been played previously, and I forgot about this. So that changes the plan a little bit. I just need to get these 2 clues. I'm not feeling great on time pressure. I kind of might give up on going up here. I do want this ending. I do want the, 2 victory. Like, it's a hard location to crack when your hand is completely filled, though. But I can just use Shed a Light from across the map to get it later. So it's really beneficial to go up. In that case, because my awkward turn doesn't really enable me to effectively use Quick Learner or fail a test here, I'm going to drag Tommy up here with his Safeguard as my last action. That'll be it for us. Second Resourceful is another Shed a Light. Perception is the only card in my hand that doesn't get clues, so it's the one that goes. Lucky is nice to have in Tommy. 2 of 4 Doom and Evil cards. Rotting Remains, I no longer have a teddy bear that I want to die. Getting hit by that for 3 would be terrifying. I'll throw out neither Rain nor Snow on this. It doesn't matter what I pull because I literally can't suffer ill effects anymore. Oh, fuck off. I hate this so much. I hate playing event-based tempo characters in sets with dissonant voices. Well, I thought I was going to go first over here and do the test, but at 5 and unable to play Beat Cop, and my other Beat Cop's been robbed from me, and I have no overpowers left, I can take a neither Rain nor Snow from Stella to be at +2. I've got Lucky in hand. That beats the bag. Okay. I tried the test. I get neither Rain nor Snow from Stella. That puts me at +2. I beat the bag with Lucky. Like I said, I beat the bag with Lucky. Didn't really want to spend that, unfortunately, because now I don't have the money to play the other Safeguard. My last 13 cards include 2 stand-togethers, and I believe also 2 emergency caches as well. No, 1 emergency cache. I guess I'm just light on economy then. Huh. Welcome to Tommy Ducks. Yeah, his ability to get economy isn't actually that useful when every enemy hits you for 2-2 and you can't afford to soak hits. Fine. What do I do to fix this? Okay, so I just realized, I thought we had 6 clues, we only have 4. And the reason for that is because I discarded the Gug, who had 2 clues on it that should have went over to Tommy because of the agenda, or the act rather. I do still want the victory here though. So my point stays the same. I gain 2 resources and I safeguard with Stella's first move action. And we both come down here. But also the whole point of this is that you flip this card over, resolve the text on the other side. Let's actually resolve the test we did. We put the Enchanted Woods Stone Circle into play. And we record in the log that we found a way out of the underworld. And now we're never actually going here because this isn't a veiled location. There's nothing on the other side. Or maybe there's something that makes fun of me. Oh, right, it's just a location from the first one. It's reused. Anyway, it's Victory 2. It's got 2 clues. I'm just gonna get those with Shadow Lights over the course of the game. Now, I could get them like right now if it weren't for Dissonant Voices, but unfortunately, I'm not allowed to play the game this turn. I think I'm just drawing twice. Like, I can't investigate when I can't play Lucky because of the risk of just getting destroyed. And I'm also not even gonna succeed anyway. Yeah, I'm just gonna draw twice probably. What's my first draw? It doesn't matter, I can't play it. It's always draw twice. Upkeep phase, time to discard again. Hey, Mariner's Compass, good to finally see you. I don't think I'll need this Perception, unfortunately. Don't like discarding 2 Perceptions, but the game keeps stopping me from actually playing the cards in my hand and forcing me to overdraw. Rotting Remains again. At this point, we've seen all the Rotting Remains. And I've got Tetsuo in hand. I don't really feel like I need to stop this one. Oh. Yeah, sure, okay. And Ancient Evils, cool, glad that's in the deck. And what does this do? Does it shuffle the encounter deck? Of course it does! Why would we design things well? There are so many little problems in Dream Eaters that I just didn't remember. Oh my god, the design here is awful. Why would you do this? Why would you put Ancient Evils in a set that shuffles at most every 4 turns? Or at least, rather. Oh, that's so bad. We all discard a card at random or lose 2 resources. And we shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. And we can't let that go up to 5. It's currently at 2. I can't afford to lose resources here, so I'm going to discard a random card, which is actually a button on this. Goodbye, extra ammo. And then over here, I can really easily afford to lose 2 resources, so I'm going to do that. This is discarded, by the way. And now we can take our turns and actually play the game. Isn't that nice? I'm going to play this Mariner's Compass, because, like, why would I ever not? I'm then going to investigate with this old keyring, reducing the shroud to 2, or to 0, rather. And I'm going to play Shadow Light for free. And that gets me 2 clues from here, and 1 clue from somewhere else. And that'll use 1 charge of the old keyring, and last action I'll walk back to the City of the Ghouls. Now, for Tommy, do I draw for 1 and 4 at economy? Or do I just take resource actions? I'm definitely going to play Tetsuo, I think. No, I can't play Tetsuo. I need the beat cop more. I need the extra ammo. I need about 8 resources over here that I need to play. 2 here that I need to play. I'm going to draw a card. I'm going to draw another card. And then play Safeguard, probably. Safeguard it is. And then I'll take this test for Frozen in Fear. Don't really care. That's fine. Upkeep phase. Sharp Vision again. And at a crossroads, that's going to Tommy. So there are no enemies currently. I know I can flip this now. I'm just waiting until it advances because it makes sense to me. Somehow. And then we take our evil cards. Lit by Deathfire. Each investigator loses 1 resource. Kind of frustrating for Tommy. And then no one's at a Veil or Depths location because we haven't progressed the game at all, so nothing else happens. Over here, we get a Ghast. I'm going to go first on Tommy. I immediately draw 3 cards. Hey, look at that, it's my economy. I'm going to play Emergency Cache 3 and a Tetsuo. Actually, instead of Tetsuo, should I just play the Beat Cop? Because the idea here is that I'm not killing this. I have to get these cards out of my hand. So yeah, I'm gonna play the Beat Cop instead. And then I will tap said Beat Cop and deal a damage to this. Over here, I'm at 3 to 4 on my first punch because that's what the gas says. But first, let's flip this and progress the game. We spend 3-player clues. That's Control Z. Apparently, I have way more clues than I need. I've been doing 3-player math. No, I had 6 a second ago, and then I got 3 with Shadow Light on my way back. That's what happened. So I spend 3-player clues. I'm gonna take all of them from Stella in case it's mattering that Tommy has some himself. And then we advance the current act. We get Richard Pickman, we put the Veil locations into play, we shuffle in the Striking Fear set. Or sorry, complete opposite, we remove the Striking Fear set, and we shuffle in the Terror of the Veil and Night God set. Thankfully, I won't have to deal with Dissonant Voices anymore. Or Rotting Remains. Rotting Remains matters a lot less, though. So those are all out. Night Gaunts go in, and Terror of the Veil goes in. And that doesn't shuffle the discard pile. We still need Pikmin and the Veil assets, or the Veil locations, rather. We got the same instructions with the act, except now our goal is to find our way into the Sea of Pitch, which will probably add the rest of all this. And this is apparently the way the map is set up. This is just like not my memory of this at all, and I wonder if we completely botched the way this was supposed to be set up when we played the game in the past. Because Crag of the Ghouls, you have to pass through from Plane of the Ghouls. And then it connects to all the other stuff, and you'll have to backtrack through it, I guess. Anyway, who gets Pikmin? This lets you Lightning Bolt to basically steal a ghoul and then fight using it. I can already fight normally on Tommy, so in case I need to fight on Stella, I'm going to give it to her. So far, every time we've ever played Ghoul Gang, Richard Upton Pickman has mysteriously never been at a location with a ghoul for the entire game. I don't know how it keeps happening to us. Anyway, this guy's a ghast. He's legally distinct, not a ghoul. I can't imagine how many people have mistakenly put ghast under Pickman, just because, like, intuitively they're the same thing, but they totally aren't. And it looks like I never settled on which ally to play. I knew I was playing Emergency Cash and I was getting this guy. He doesn't help with the gas, though. I'm still going to play an ally. I'm still going to play this Beat Cop. And I'm going to tap him instantly to deal damage to this ghast. Over here, to deal with him, we can punch him at 3 to 2, which isn't great. Right now, it's 3 to 4, and we do have to do something eventually. I'm going to evade at 4 to 5. Like, it's not good, but it's my least negative, it feels like. No, I'm going to punch him at 3 to 4. It's the exact same odds. What am I talking about? 0. I use Lucky to kill him. I also want to keep that resource. I have no reason to toss it. Actually, I do want to get rid of it so that Mariner's Compass is online. Cool. Wasn't really expecting to pass immediately. I feel really bad when I'm, like, using Lucky to pass that as a Stella, where I can just get the action back. But, like, next action, I'll be punching at 3 to 2. I'm up 1. I have no guarantee that I can kill him on the next action, at which point I've used the Stella action and gotten nothing anyway. So Lucky is, like, kind of a weird anti-synergy with Stella. But the card's so good that I just don't care. Anyway, we have finally gotten Dark Horse online. Our new stat line on third action and later is essentially 6, 5, 6, 7, which is a big part of why Stella fits so easily into an S tier. We're gonna walk to the next location. Oh, I need to remake all of these because as I was moving them around to figure out the correct layout, they all ended up losing their clues. Anyway, now Stella moves in the next location. Tommy safeguards. The Crag of the Ghoul says that the first Mythos drawn here every turn gains Surge. But there's not really a way around it. And it'll probably get me a Ghoul, right? Like, it's gonna negate itself in the long run. That's completely untrue. Only if the third card is a Ghoul, the other two are just like a penalty for having been there. It's my third action. I can investigate with Sharp Vision here. It'll be difficulty 1. I'll be at 2, 5 to 1, which means the Sharp Vision probably works for a clue. I'm gonna go 5 to 1, 6 to 1, increase my odds of succeeding by 2, and also get something back with this Resourceful, because I don't have a Shadow Light to use it on right now. So 6 to 1 at third action. Don't make me regret this. I've just realized that, like, Mariner's Compass would have... Like, Sharp Vision's not actually that good here, but whatever. Anyway, that'll be an easy pass by 1,000,000. So we're gonna get 2 clues from our location with the Sharp Vision. We're going to get a card back. Surprise, surprise. It's gonna be Shadow Light. And that'll be the end of our turn. In fact, it's the end of our round, so upkeep. We get the other Shadow Light. Time to do some gross shit. Hey, Becky, a little bit late, to be honest. Already spent 6 resources on a gun that bankrupted me. I'll definitely discard the other Thompson first, though. 2 of 4 evil cards. Sorry, what? 2 of 4 Doom, comma, evil cards. That really puts into perspective just how huge Gugs are, huh? That art's kind of hard to parse for me at first. Revelation, there are no enemies in play. Take 1/1. Can't, sorry, there are enemies. Test book or foot 4. If you fail, the nearest enemy readies. Moves until it reaches your location, 1 location at a time, and engages you. Then if you fail by 3 or more, it makes an immediate attack. The Lumbering Gug cannot move through this location. This just fizzles because I have a Gug across the map from me. There are so many little problems in Dream Eaters that I just didn't remember. It actually hurts the campaign for me. I gave feedback for like almost this exact sort of thing when I was alpha testing Bloodborne. If there are no enemies in play, there are, so we do the other effect. I test foot or book 4, and if I fail, nothing happens because this Gug cannot enter this location. So sure, give me my completely meaningless test. And that's the first treachery drawn, so take another one too. Foot bad. Are there foot treacheries? Gonna feel bad when there are. Speak of the devil. I can afford to take the damage. There's no Tetsuo in play, so I can't have it soaked for me, unfortunately. I'm just gonna take the damage, it's fine. It's 4 to 5. Oh, wait. It's just difficulty 3, it's not being increased by foot bad. So it's essentially 2 to 3, I'm probably taking some damage here. But that just seems fine. Like, I don't actually care. Yeah, I take 2 damage, it's not a big deal. Sorry about that, Pikmin. I care about you less than myself. Difficulty 0 does have noted anti-synergy with Stella because there's no risk of me failing. It's kind of funny. But it's still very, very strong. I think at this, I can get this clue so many different ways, but on my first test, it's kind of impossible at 5 Shroud. With 3 Shadow Lights in hand, I don't have to get these last clues. I can get them somewhere else. So I'll do just that. I'm going to walk to the next location. I get safeguarded by Tommy. Sea of Bones is a funny one. I remember this. We're going to investigate with Old Keyring, and we're going to play Shadow Lights for free, because that's how the game works. And we're not going to do anything else. That's all it is. So difficulty goes down to 0, and we get 2 clues from here, and 1 clue from somewhere else. Good job, Shadow Light. You're a very balanced and fair card. I'm sorry, I just got distracted by the fact that the alt also has the text. It's not supposed to, it's broken a little bit. But anyway, we flip this over, we're gonna get a Dole, I believe. We get a Dole tunnel and attach it to this location. And we also spawn an exhausted, slithering Dole here with 2 clues. And the Dole is gonna keep coming back from these Dole tunnels, unfortunately. It is a spawn nearest location with a Dole tunnel, otherwise shuffle it back into the encounter deck and Surge, Hunter Massive, 3/5/3, hits for 1/1. While it's moving, all Dole tunnels are connected, so it basically can go everywhere. And killing it's only a temporary measure because Dole tunnels will keep going off, so we really just want to leave that guy behind. And we're going to use our last action to walk down. And Tommy's going to safeguard with us again because he has 2 of them. Frozen in Fear can go straight to hell. I do want to get rid of it eventually so I can actually attack though. Like, my offensive output's pretty limited right now. So we're going to play Stand Together as our first action on Tommy, because he desperately needs it. Probably going to play it again, even though it's just overdrawing cards to some degree. I can't play an ally, I don't have second charisma. What I can do is play Brand of Cthugga Cherished Keepsake just to get them out of my hand and prevent an overdraw, and that sounds entirely worth doing. Then at the end of the turn, I need to get rid of this. I'm going to test it 3 to 3 again. And the main reason for not using neither Rain or So here is that I have a Lucky. I can beat most of the bag with it. At this point, I think it's worth using Lucky on this. I'll toss it out. And now it's upkeep phase. Rabbit's Foot is completely unnecessary. I'm not actually overdrawn, though. This guy readies. And then we get 3 of 4 Doom and Evil cards. Grasping Hands is back. I don't actually mind dying to this at all. Like, I'll just full-on kill my guard dog with it and play a Tetsuo. It's not a problem. Skull, that's a 0. Guard dog dies entirely. I get 3 resources. I'm going to shuffle guard dog into my deck. And the reason I'm doing this is to try to prevent how quickly I'm drawing through my deck. Make sure Stand Together and Add a Crossroads can go off. Also, I've drawn Add a Crossroads. I have to give it to somebody. I don't actually want Add a Crossroads on anyone. I'm going to give it to Tommy. And over here, our evil card is Dole Tunnel. It has to be 2 locations away from the current Dole. So the Dole is now going to be here. at least 2 locations away. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rip the Ghoul all the way over here. And it's gonna come back to this location because they're connected. But I want the best possible odds of not having to kill the Ghoul before the other tunnels are spawned. Oh wait, it only moves it if it's in the victory display. It still stays here. It hasn't moved. As long as it's actually in the game, nothing happens. So the Ghoul's still right where we left it. Getting hit for 1-1 on both of these guys isn't even a concern. Like, the Ghoul can just come slap us. I don't actually care. I'm going to talk about these Veil locations real quick. Only one of them actually matters in a positive way. The other ones do positive stuff, as I recall, but not that actually progresses the game. The Veil of Panath is the one that we really need to advance. If you come over to the Crag of the Ghouls, and obviously we've already seen what Sea of Bones does, Peaks from the Thok also is just flavor, really. So on the other side of the peaks, we can see that when we flip this, we get a Hunting Night God spawned at our location exhausted, but we also draw 2 cards and get to place 2 clues on an enemy, so like, it's helping you progress, but it's not actually doing anything. And the same thing is true on Crag of the Ghouls, as I recall. We get to mill the top encounter cards if we want to, and this is useful for, thematically appropriately, Crag of the Ghouls, making sure we draw ghouls so that Pikmin can take them. But because we're forced to flee that location, we're not going to stay there long enough to do it. Instead, we're down here where we actually need to be to progress. I'm going to go first on Tony, or Tommy rather. I think I'm taking an extra action this turn. I don't want to draw my whole deck. So I'm going to do that. I play Stand Together as that extra action. I get 2 resources, draw 2 cards. You get 2 resources, you draw 2 cards. You're at a crossroads too now. I'm going to give this over to Tommy, because I still don't need it. It won't trigger though. That was our extra action. Now we discard a random card. It can't be that. It was Tetsuo. That's actually great for us. I'm going to double action to kill this internal injury, honestly. And then play the other Tetsuo. Next, coming over to Stella, who's got all the cards in the world, it seems. I don't need either of these at all, so overdrawing is completely fine. This is 4 Shroud. I can get it down to 2 with Quick Learner and 0 with Keyring. I've still got Shadow Light, I've got Resourceful, which I need to play like right now, so it works out. First action, Old Keyring. Oh, I've been forgetting to click this down. I'm just gonna pay for the Shadow Light, but from this point onward, if this is over 3 resources, it's a lie. This is set to 3. Like, I'm just gonna put a 3 there, because that's the number it's actually at if I forget it. Anyway, we're second action now. That's not good enough. We need to do more. There's really nothing more to do. I could investigate 2 to 4 and try to get the action back from Stella so that I can essentially just move this action to the end. But if I get the squid, like the squid just prevents you from playing Stella in this scenario. It's so frustrating. Oh, I can just do it now with Gumption if I want to. I don't really see a reason not to. Okay, I'm going to investigate with Gumption. No, the reason not to is that there's more locations left. I might need Gumption for one of them. I'm just gonna draw a card, it's fine. Oh, right, yeah, that's a reason. Sure, whatever. I use Old Keyring. The difficulty is 0 between 2 Quick Learners and 1 Keyring. I play Shadow Light, but before I do, I commit Resourceful to the test. So now the test is automatically successful. I can trigger Resourceful and get the Shadow Light back. I get 1 clue, 1 from Shadow Light, and then 1 from another location from Shadow Light. And we pay for that, normally, to get down to 3. And now we'll flip this. We possess 9 clues on Stella alone. We don't actually need 9, though. I'm doing 3-player math again. We only needed 6. And we spend those clues as a group to advance the current act. We're going to put the depths locations into play, shuffle in the Agents of Atlan and Ka, and the Descent into the Pitch. 2 new encounter sets go in, and 4 new locations come down. Alright, getting that sorted out took a surprisingly long time. I've swapped the locations on Peaks of Thok and the Veil of Nakath, which actually makes this map look much better now, so maybe that's how it was supposed to be. Because all of these locations are interconnected, this isn't a pretty way to do it, but I don't know a way to do it where the lines aren't crossed everywhere with the space that I have left. I could do it like this, but then it's not obvious it connects on the left. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, this is the best method I have. We still have the clue thing going on, and our objective no longer involves clues. Our objective is now just to flip locations until we're told to win the scenario. Anyway, that's it for us. Enemy phase, he moves, he attacks, we both take 1-1. Tetsuo takes 2-2 and dies immediately, giving me 4 resources. And I do shuffle him in. Technically, I search my deck for an item and find out it's just guard dogs. Then upkeep phase hits, I get take heart, I have to overdraw something, it's gonna be winging it, that's objectively better. Then we get to 4 Doom, we flip the agenda. We either lose 2 resources or discard a card at random. We can both afford to lose 2 resources. That should have been at 3, so I go down to 1. And our scenario health goes from 2 to 3. Then wait, do we shuffle the deck here? Of course we do. Evil cards. There's a Hunting Night Gaunt here as well. And there's a Grey Weaver. Of course they're in the set. Good to see you, buddy. Tommy, I'm not sure you're the kind of fighter that can handle this, and we haven't gotten ghouls for Ghoul Gang yet. Tommy definitely goes first, and he's definitely taking an action from the At a Crossroads. I think he does just have to kill this Hunting Night Gaunt first, unfortunately. So that'll be my first action, is to do that. We shoot. It's at a very large number. -3 is fine. It's actually what we beat. No, we beat -4, which is good. Then we discard a random card from our hand. It was Becky. So long. Then we shoot again. Up 4 again. Cool, he's dead. The Grey Weaver is Stella's job to evade. We're just stalling out the enemies this turn. There's nothing to do about it. I'm going to shoot the Big Dole twice. That's all I can do. The Big Dole is only a 3, right? And I'm at 4, 5, 6, 7 to 3. Yes. So I just need to not get auto-fail twice. That's 4 damage. I tap the Beat Cop, and the Dole is dead. I take the clues on Tommy. The Dole was probably coming back. I didn't really want to kill it early, but here we are. I was lamenting the fact that I'm not running Exploit Weakness to just deal huge damage, hit the Grey Weaver for 3 and auto-evade it. But then I realized that it's non-elite, so it would actually get discarded and I wouldn't get the victory, so there's another point in favor of not running Exploit Weakness. So I'm evading, it's automatically increased to difficulty 5, so there's no way I can ever pass it. I need to not draw a squid, otherwise I get hit for 1-2, it's essentially getting an alert. There's nothing I can do about that in this case, so we just do the test. I should have committed Take Heart. Why did I not commit Take Heart? Can we just imagine I committed Take Heart? I literally was planning to fail. Draw into the wrong hand, as always. Now in our second action, it's actually difficulty 3. Gumption is 1 per test, unfortunately, so I can't get this down to 0 yet, but we do get an action back from being Stella on the field, so that's nice. I'm going to just evade again at this time 4 to 3. I'm not going to commit anything to that, it's fine. Flip the wrong one. Oh, I just pass. That saves me some time. Cool. I will keep Tommy with me because I can just safeguard him back into the spider. Like it's actually not a problem. Maybe I shouldn't. Leave Tommy there to kill the spider. Well, the thing is, he's actually not well equipped to kill the spider. He needs to be safeguarded away. I'm going to leave and drag Tommy with me, using one of his safeguards. I still need to use a 1 Shadow Light to get that previous location, so I'm going to investigate. The difficulty is 3. So I'll use my last charge on this old keyring instead of a gumption. Actually, I have a gumption in hand and I'm overdrawing, so it's better to keep the option of using gumption plus old keyring. Or alternatively, it's better to hold the gumption to do other tests easier. So I'm basically done with clues. Which one's right? I think I can just crush the rest of the game with Mariner's Compass, honestly. I use the old keyring. And I use Shadow Lights. And I don't have anything I commit to this. There's no resourcefuls left. But it's difficulty 0 because of Quick Learner keyring. So I get 1, 2 from here and 1 from somewhere else. Feels very gross to recur Shadow Light like this. Feels very gross. And that's it for us. Upkeep phase, the Grey Weaver readies. I take a Horror. That stays at 3. And we are overdrawn. We will not be needing the second Mariner's Compass. Over here, we're fine. We can actually no longer shuffle in our dead allies, at least for this round. 1 of 4 Doom and Evil cards. I think I'm gonna go with Head Bad, actually. I don't think there's as many head tests. Here, fucking immediately. Wait, if I fail, I take 1 damage in Horror? Sure. Oh no. Thought it would be worse than that. Like, I didn't even consider using neither Ranger, so I was like, oh, 1 damage in Horror. Alright, cool. Free card. Okay, now that it's our turns, I'm gonna go first on Stella. I flip this. Oh, this is the one where you shuffle them. Okay. I'm not a fan, but sure. So that's the one where you take all 4 of them, you take the clues off, you shuffle them, you redistribute them, and then the clues go back down as evenly as possible. So 2 will have 1 and a 2 will have 2. I'm going to choose to put 2 on our current location. I'm going to investigate my location with Mariner's Compass by spending 3 resources. Do I draw a card first? Is that it? I think that's it. Yeah, first action I draw a card because I can't do anything. Cool, that's fine. Now it's difficulty 3. I'm going to investigate with Mariner's Compass. And I'm very likely to fail this as I'm down 1. Unsurprisingly, I fail. I play Live and Learn. And then during the second one, I spend the 3 resources. So now I'm up 5, down 1 becomes up 4. Seems solid. And I get an action back because I'm Stella. Cool, I get both clues with the Mariner's Compass. And we try again. I'm going to look at the 2-clue copy of See a Pitch over here. Cool, it's the objective. I don't think there's any important See a Pitch other than the one you need to win, right? Just checking this, my meta-knowledge doesn't want to mislead me. Yeah, there's literally no benefit to going to any of them other than the one that wins the scenario, so now I know exactly what I need to do to win. If you find that cheating, I've played Dream Eaters like 3 times now. I'm not interested in playing badly because I've misremembered something. And the veiled locations are the one thing where it's like, I'm just gonna check these. Because like realistically, before setup, if I were actually assembling this in person, I would just take a look at the backs of them to make sure I'm not remembering them wrong. We can probably just go win this turn. I'm gonna walk over here, I'm gonna safeguard Tommy with me. And sadly, oh wait, no, I've got Sharp Vision. It's difficulty 1. I commit Sharp Vision, Gumption, and neither Rain nor I don't need that, do I? Yeah, and if I fail, because the difficulty's 1, I can use Look What I Found. I choose to automatically fail to heal 1/1, and I play Look What I Found for 0 instead of passing. To get the clues. And then I flip it, and as we already know from the previous one, we spend 6 clues, and we advance the act. So, same as every other time, I've 3 or 4 playthroughs of Dream Eaters. I've never seen a single ghoul go under Pikmin. We don't actually flip this yet, though, because... Alright, Pikmin's on my mind. We don't flip it yet because there's still victory to get. I'm not going to sandbag for the second weaver, there's 33 cards. But, like, we can await a hot second to do this and let Tommy go get a victory point. So Tommy's going to walk out. This guy's going to engage him. He's going to shoot him twice with Brandigathaga at 4/5, 6/4. I'm going to commit Daring on the first one. Be at up tremendous numbers. That's a pass. He takes 2. I draw a card. I also take a Horror. I should put that on the beat comp. Then on the second attack, I'm going to be committing Guard Dog to beat the -3 and the -4. Cool, he's dead. Guard Dogs, please. Because I use beat comp, killing the beat comp, giving me 4 resources, shuffling the beat comp in, and dealing the 5th and final damage to this guy. And then we use the lightning bolt and flip this over and we win. Cool. The Dole did not, in fact, get back out through another tunnel, and that felt like a stomp. We had, what, like 4 turns left? Oh, this might actually be an example of maybe somewhat positive player scaling for lower counts. Those are rare and few and far between, but I think this might have been a thing where lower player counts have an easier time because they're much less likely to draw the recursive ancient evils that keep getting shuffled back in. But also, I feel like I've usually just won this with a lot of time left in my experience. I think this just isn't a very hard scenario. That said, Stella fucking demolished the clue game, and Tommy was perfectly adequate at fighting. It was a bit sketchy early on, but this is I didn't really draw beat cops or even weapons. And I drew like first turn lumbering gun. That's why it was hard at first. Tommy was completely adequate as a fighter, which is roughly my opinion of Tommy. Anyways, when we flip that, we get R1, and when we come over to R1, we get 1 tally mark next to Steps of the Bridge, Victory X, and we go on to the next scenario. That's pretty straightforward. Only we've already done the next scenario, so we're doing the great ones. So in Resolution 1, we're going to get 1 tally mark next to Steps of the Bridge, Victory X, and proceed to the interlude. What's our Victory X going to be? We have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 victory. We're going to add a -4 to the Chaos Bag. That's not bad at all. The Black Cat has a hunch, so it bails and we don't get to ask it questions. I'm sorry, it's 3 Steps of the Bridge, not 1. There we go. I was trying to figure out what I did wrong previously. I read this, but I'm supposed to read each of the ones that applies. This one is also true. The Black Cat should be searching for the truth in both campaign logs. And the reason I became aware that I did something wrong is because I read this, and I'm like, how are you going to be searching for the truth? He definitely should know the truth. I've been playing it like that. And I just forgot to write that down, didn't actually read that section. And that'll be it until the finale. You've already seen where the gods dwell, so I'll see you next time with Weaver of the Cosmos. I've been rather coherent, hope you've been enjoying me playing through the Dream Eaters, despite all the little things in the campaign that really need a return to that they just won't print for some reason. I've really been enjoying this campaign. I think Return to Dream Eaters would easily be my favorite campaign, but unfortunately in its current state, even though Dream Eaters is awesome, it has too many little things that bother me. But I'm still looking forward to the last two scenarios because these are some of my favorite in the campaign. Not in the campaign, these are some of my favorite in the game. On the whole, I really like Dream Eaters, and this is no small part of why. Anyways, I've been rather incoherent. If you did like the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff really does help the channel grow, and I greatly appreciate it. And either way, I'll see you in the next one.